Ah, Phelps. I was just discussing with Finbar here how well you were doing. Have a seat.
Yeah, it's my real name. And you can just forget all about it.
You boys have a new case. A poor Hispanic woman murdered near City Hall and left lying naked in an alleyway.
Another naked woman, sir?
Yes. We seem to have had quite a run of them since the Dahlia fiend first struck.
Phelps is politely trying to hint that he thinks the Mendez case is hokey.
Well, young Phelps, you win some and you lose some in police work.
You're happy with the Mueller case, sir?
Over the moon, boys! The DA couldn't be more pleased with the evidence, the witness, and the lack of an alibi. Now, get out there and catch me another sinner.
You have the address?
It's the alley off Aliso between Los Angeles and Alameda.
You're kidding. The next one will be opposite Central Station.
Count yourself lucky, Phelps. Most guys would kill to land a case so close to their desk.
Yeah, it means they can pop in to hit the office supply of hooch whenever they need it.
You know, that ain't a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all, Phelps.
KGPL 20 Central Unit. The citizen reports a man with a gun on Grand between 4th and 5th. Any Central Unit identify.
Watch it, will you?
Detectives, they're ready to start the show. I'll take you through.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Carruthers, Pinker?
Cause of death is pretty apparent. We thought we'd best wait for you. When you're ready.
Only 21 years old. But why the library card? Did he want us to find it?
Kiss the Blood, BD. Another wedding ring torn from the finger. No skin under the fingernails. The lacerations on the neck would indicate a great deal of force. The evidence in the Mueller case was solid. I'm not convinced about Mendez.
The best way to get away with murder is to pin it on somebody else. I'll bet a month's salary this is a copycat.
Strangled, battered,
Yeah, we know the M.O. So does every jerk who kills his wife and girlfriend looking for a way out. I've spoken to Brown. He still believes the Dahlia perp has medical experience.
4 women, all murdered, all put on display, all with messages.
Mueller had no message. Look, Phelps, this is getting us nowhere.
Anything for us to go on, Mal?
Head injuries from contact with road, bruising from a small man's shoe, Further blunt force trauma to the occipital region at the base of the skull. Could have been fatal, but clear signs of strangulation would seem to rule it out.
Lipstick appears to be a similar color to the other cases. I'll see if I can nail down a brand.
If she took a blow to the head like the others, she was probably unconscious when strangled.
May as well follow the trail. Antonia. Huh, same as the library card.
Proximity to the scene, plus the bloodstains. No way is this coincidence.
We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out.
That's got to be a code or a cipher. Where are you taking us? house keys, strung up like bait on a hook. Empty. Where is all of this meant to be taking us? You think he's trying to lead us somewhere?
Probably all the way to City Hall, that brazen son of a bitch.
He clearly wants us to find these things. He's left them for us.
There you go, Phelps. You got a new M.O. I told you it wasn't our guy.
Or he might just be getting more confident. Enameled and gold-plated. This was precious to her.
The trail points up.
Pulled from the finger and hung up here. What's the significance? Looks as though the killer was decorating with this. Son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown.
It was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband we should be looking for. Get him, we've closed the case.
Rusty's razor, of course. I don't want to question your tried and tested techniques, Detective Galloway. But doesn't the DA require sound casework before he'll close the book?
Not if he's got a confession. And, you know, there's ways of getting those.
I'm sure.
All units, officer needs help. 211 and shots fired. 391 Broadway, Mallory's Cafe. 391 Broadway. Unit to handle code 3, identify.
Gently.
Go to hell, Parker! No way I'm going down without a fight.
Drop the weapon, hands behind your head.
Yeah? Fuck you too!
God damn it, get out.
Put your hands in the air!
He's hiding in the alley.
Give it up, LAPD! Don't make me chase you! How long are you gonna keep this up?
This is Car 11 King. Advise all units that the 211 from Mallory's Cafe is code 4, KGPL.
Roger, 11K. All units, 211 from Mallory's Cafe is code 4. Repeat, code 4.
Go right through here. You don't need to turn here. We're taking the next left. Hey, come on! Cole, come on!
I'm stumped. Ideas?
Let's check that library. See where our dead lady comes from.
I'm sorry. Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. Detective Phelps in Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPente, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment, ma'am. Hey, Cole, let's get moving. Will you look at that? Someone's turned the place over.
Okay, we have an address. The charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence. The smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
So someone broke in using this thing instead of a crowbar. Wonder where it was taken from. We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife that served me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
What can you tell us about Angel Maldonado?
She married him when she was 17. He was cruel to her, very cruel. She was a good girl, little on the religious side, but a good girl.
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I've no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
A nosy old hag like you knows everything about the people who live under her roof. Where did she go?
I think she went to a bar. She's been drinking quite a lot lately.
This bar have a name?
El Dorado Bar. It's a Latino place on North Los Angeles Street.
That's only a couple of blocks from where we found the body.
You've had a break-in?
No! That can't be true.
The window's broken, the room's been tossed. You seem like the type of landlady who notices everything that happens under her roof. What gives?
Don't take that tone of voice with me, young man.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
What about her bracelet?
I don't know anything about a bracelet.
In her wedding photo, she's displaying a charm bracelet.
That thing? She never wore it. He gave it to her. She always kept it in that wooden jewelry box.
Thanks, ma'am. You've been very helpful.
Pay a call to that husband of hers. Lock him up and throw away the key.
We can either front Angel, seeing as the finger's pointing right at him, or we could check out the El Dorado bar.
LAPD, police emergency.
You're the police?
A nosy old hag? Ah! And I thought I was coming on strong with the ex-wives line.
Sometimes you have to be firm to get the information you need.
God damn it, ain't that the truth?
How about we drop in on the husband instead? See if your gut is right.
I'll take a bar over a husband every day of the week.
Think there's anything to the divorce angle?
I've been through 3, fellas. No big deal. After a while, it just comes.
But Angel, he's a young Latino man. It would hurt his sense of who he is. He'd see himself as a failure, a woman taking control over his life.
Then she fronts him and he snaps. Works for me. That makes Angel a killer as well as a piece of shit.
Maldonado is in apartment 304.
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest. I got 100 pounds on your walk.
Now look,
What are you
I don't. I got. God.
I got 100 pounds on your wife, pal. Ain't gonna be so easy. Damn. They got some decent shots in there. Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no!
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night, goddammit! You think I'd kill my own wife?
We should get the whole place a going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place.
The El Dorado must be a family favorite.
This will take some explaining.
Maybe one of the neighbors took notice of Angel's movements. He's got no alibi. He's toast. No good. Nobody here.
What do you want?
LAPD. We're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. I'm playing with my kid.
LAPD. Were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated, and I had the kids last night. I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Hello?
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here, and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
I kept thinking you were going to call that one a nosy old hag too, Phelps. Well-executed restraint.
I'm executing restraint right now, Finbar.
The hired help at the El Dorado might have seen the broad the night she died. Maybe the regulars, too. You should check it out.
Jesus, Phelps!
I survived.
What can I get you?
LAPD. Detectives Phelps and Galloway.
Diego Aguilar. How can I help?
You worked the bar last night?
Yeah. Me and a temp guy from the agency.
Did you have a woman in here last night? 21 years old, Hispanic, drinking heavily?
We have a lot of ladies like that in here. But yeah, I know who you mean. Antonia Maldonado. Oh, what did she do?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, shit.
Do you know her well? Was she a regular?
Hell no. She was good and tight last night, complaining about her old man. It's a story you get used to working in a bar. She was so hammered last night, she left a letter on the bar. I'll show you.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
Divorce papers? Did you open them?
No need to. She was shouting about it and waving the letter around. Said she was going to show him.
Can you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
She had a necklace. Some kind of religious thing, I think. The temp guy would have more of an idea. She took the beer he served her and cried into it all night.
What time did she leave?
Can't say for sure.
Where did she go? Give me something or the LAPD will start getting interested in this place.
Take it easy. She wanted a cab, okay? And my phone was out of order. The closest one I knew was at the fruit market across the street, so I suggested she try there. She seemed reluctant.
Did Antonia say where she was going when she left?
She said she was going to serve the papers on the husband. Said that would take the smile off his face. If you ask me, she was scared. And the drink was for Dutch courage.
She attract any interest?
An extremely drunk young woman? What do you think? She managed to scare them off, though.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
No problem. Hey, get the guy, will you?
We'll do our best. One last question. What size shoe do you take, Mr. Aguilar?
A broad 9. I have wide feet.
You drove me up to my house.
A waitress. Can I have another spoon?
You ought to meet Joe's buddy. He's nice. Really.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
You want a tip? Refill my coffee next time, honey.
Sam has taken me to Palm Springs for the weekend.
Sir, do you work here?
Sorry, pal, just making deliveries.
From where?
Just Pig Fruit Market across the street.
A fruit market delivers here?
Yeah, sure does. The Mexes love a little slice with their tequila.
We found a crate a lot like the ones you're wheeling there, except it was filled with booze. You know anything about that?
What? No, we deliver all over the place, officer. No telling where the boxes end up. Excuse me, I have to get on with this.
Fine, thanks.
Slow and steady, come on!
Car 11K, come in.
If we survive this, it's gonna be a miracle.
He's dull as...
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Are there any messages for me?
Message from Captain Donnelly, Detective. Your presence is requested urgently at Central Station. A new letter from the Dahlia killer has been found.
Thank you. LAPD, I need your car, now. Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
These letters, Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
And now we sent another.
You know, I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. Have you seen the body? Fucking case just gnaws away at your guts. Hollywood. Every prom queen.
Whoa there! Calm down!
Shut. Great. We'll need to come back later, Phelps. Maybe somebody here saw Antonia the night she died. Breathe, Phelps. Breathe, damn it!
a break! God, you're gonna kill us! Take a right. Take the next right. Okay, at the next corner, hang a right. You're making a right at the next intersection. Stop just ahead. Almost there now. Stop just ahead. Almost there now.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
Thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop it.
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case got thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? Want another combination?
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir. This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all his fares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and typed from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
That's why we called you in.
Do you think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nutjob's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley? Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, a superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
The Dahlia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
What are we waiting for?
Mouthpiece tore strips off me at the grand jury. Case was
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe? She didn't stay long.
So if you didn't kill your wife, who did? You better come up with something, Angel. This doesn't look good.
Fuck you. I loved my wife.
You're good, kid. You murder your wife and you just sit there as cool as a cucumber.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
Boys, come on in. Phelps.
Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse. That's the message from the Celine Henry case.
That's why we called you in.
Do you think it's original?
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe? She didn't stay long.
You're lying, Angel. You went after her. I think you killed her.
You're out of your mind. My brother will tell you I was at home.
We have a witness who confirms that you were arguing, that your wife ran out, that you followed her and didn't come back.
I know this looks bad, but it's not true. We argued, all right, but she went out and I went out after her and she jumped in a car on the corner.
There was a car waiting for her? Can you describe the driver?
Not the driver. It was too dark. But the car, it was a brown Ford coupe.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
I don't believe you, Angel. She'd been granted a decree nisi. She pushed you too far and you lashed out.
I told you, I wouldn't accept a divorce.
The judge had set a date. You were going to be paraded in front of the whole city for your cruelty to her, Angel.
Antonia. Oh, Jesus. She came in drunk, out of her mind. She doesn't normally drink. She was looking around in her bag. Said she wanted to serve me papers. Me, her own husband. So I slapped her down. She ran out. That's the truth.
What size shoe do you wear, Angel?
Size 8. What difference does that make?
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
What about the charm bracelet? Was she wearing that?
You know about that? She never wore it. She didn't like the message. She kept it locked up in that box of hers.
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
Angel, I'm not going to waste any more time on this. Give me something or I'm going to have you charged.
My brother, Hippolito, he said some bad things about Antonia last night. So I had to sock him one. We got into it.
Keep talking.
She said she came from the El Dorado bar.
And?
It's not one of my places. We used to buy fruit at the market down the street. But the creep there was always running his eyes all over my wife.
What's the name of this fruit market?
Just picked fruit. Ord Street downtown.
One last question, Angel. Do the words kiss the blood mean anything to you?
No. Sounds sick to me.
You're not in the clear by any means, Angel. You're going back into a cell. You should think about whether you have anything else you need to share with us.
Coroner says it's going to take at least a week to get it.
What's your read on Maldonado? I still like him for it. Seriously, that line about the guy at the fruit market making Isa his woman? Please. Now, we'll get to the market and the guy behind the counter will tell us he saw Angel drag his old lady off into the night. This case will be shut like all the others. Cole!
He drove me up to Mojave.
Shit!
Heavens!
Hey! Whoa, if someone reports this...
Are you working Friday night? We should go out after.
Sir, Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
She looked like she was having a good night to you? Sir, Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
You already knew Mrs. Maldonado, didn't you, Clem?
Sure, I met her before. She seemed like a nice lady. Her husband went apeshit one day when he caught me talking to her. She hadn't been back until last night.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think. She seemed to know the guy.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh. No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
Why cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. You must have seen it during the war.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off. Clem! God damn it, get after him, Cole! I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Hit him, Cole. Spit him out.
We should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy.
Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close.
Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect.
1725, code 6.
Hit it! Clean this asshole off the road!
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Outstanding job on this case, gentlemen. The poor woman can now rest in peace. I'll pay the fiend a personal visit myself and remind him that crime in this city does not go unpunished. When they finish with him at the receiving hospital, we'll have him up before the grand jury. I have a meeting this afternoon with the mayor, lads. I'll be sure to mention your names. Now, on your way.
Sarge, why are the guys giving it to the doggies? They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do at that. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads.
How can we fail, Skip, with the Shadow leading the show?
Who the fuck is the Shadow?
Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming.
Sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, the fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed.
I say we bust in there and find them.
Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? One another congregation?
Greetings from sunny California. When's it going to stop? I'm sorry, madam. Police officer, I need your car. Fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Yeah, Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to sing.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows maketh the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base. That guy there will lead us up.
I'm steeling myself for what I'm about to see.
That'll just be another dead body, partner. Get used to seeing them. They're the gig when you're working homicide, Phelps.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363. No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene.
Doesn't look like anything.
Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks, ma'am.
No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?
At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Mrs. T. Terrellson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought. So wait for the next turning and go right. Just go easy, Phelps. Easy.
You're behind the wheel. You're looking for a tall, disfigured man at the camp.
Could be difficult. Most bums look deformed to me.
Come on, Rusty. This isn't gothic fiction. Hobos are just like you or me. They're just men who've fallen on hard times.
You ain't much of a detective, Phelps, if you think a hobo's like me. Clue number one, how do I smell?
Of alcohol and stale sweat. You know, I may be onto something here.
Very funny, Phelps.
Holy Bob. Sick. Don't leave me alone. I fought. Where's my wife? I'm the one. Nobody cares about me. I took a
We're
bullet.
looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. You know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
The bum isn't here. We should follow the lead. These guys can wait.
Calling you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
Wrinkle was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up.
Three blondes.
Mister, a man like you always loses a battle of wits because you're unarmed. See him? Saw his picture in the paper. Worked that case with a lady cut up like the Dahlia.
Wow, that looks like...
That's disgusting.
Wrinkle was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up.
You can't do this!
Real happiness is when you marry a girl for love and you find out later.
That's the guy. I heard he's an honest cop. Now that's
Outrageous.
I'm out of here.
What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
Solve that big case.
Survive the war for this?
She wants to fight.
You can't do this! Isn't that the cop who caught the guy?
That price is outrageous.
Oh, that looks like.
Isn't that the cop who solved the big case?
Phelps, leave him be. What's your beef with this guy, Phelps? Phelps, leave him be.
Three blondes.
This is going to help us.
Why is the word... What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio?
An Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman walk into the bar. The bartender looks up and says, "What is this? Some kind of joke?"
Wow.
Slow down.
That's disgusting.
Seems irrelevant.
Sam's taking me out of Palm Springs for the weekend.
Look, that's the latest thing. Isn't that the cop who caught the guy that was pretending to be dead?
That's the guy. I heard he's an honest cop. Now there's an oxymoron for you. See him?
Talking about him.
About this.
You can drive.
And where exactly are we going? I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff.
Not much help. This doesn't pertain to the case. Looks like a match with the ligature marks.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
it's procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Charles?
KGPL.
Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules them out as the suspect.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks for your help. Need to check if she was a regular. If you'd excuse me, ladies.
I don't think so.
So she went out without her handbag? She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. At least she was spared that particular indignity. Lars was out in the rain last night. We could see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene. I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. For the record, Mr. Tarleton, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
So you don't know anyone who would want her dead?
No, I don't. If you have more questions, I'd rather get this over with now.
Looks like a match with the ligature marks.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide.
If you'd excuse me, ladies.
You want to hear something funny, Tarleton? Some
Ours was out in the rain last night.
Report actually rules him out as the suspect.
We can see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene. So she went out without her handbag? At least she was spared that particular indignity. She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks. Probably nothing. It would take a smarter man than me to connect that. No good to me. Don't think this is anything. Circumstantial. Need to check if she was a regular. I wonder why the picture was turned down. Not everything here is going to be relevant. For the record, Mr. Terrellson, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
I think you're lying, Lars. I think you were mad at your wife for embarrassing you in front of your friends. I think you came back here and strangled her and then dumped her body on the hill.
You think I strangled my wife? How do you expect to prove that?
Your wife was strangled with triple braid rope. The bow line from your boat is a perfect match.
Look, I know this looks bad. I'm gonna have to come to terms with the fact that I let her go.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right, Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Barron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Terrellson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
You're lying, Lars. You didn't come straight home, did you?
And how do you figure that?
You were out in the rain. You got soaked, Lars. We found your wet weather gear.
Okay, I stayed a little later than I said. This cute little brunette was hitting on me. Teresa noticed. I was half cut. I walked her home from Bobby's, but nothing happened. I walked back and got the car this morning.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Tarleton. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life. Sounds like the Tarleton broad had her last drink at Barron's bar. We should check the place out.
Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.